Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Friday, the 8th of December. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, Friday. Friday, we're saying, is just as busy as Thursday. That I'm starting off, I had an on runner on Thursday, but starting off with 14 horses, 13 races, 3 bets. Smidgen higher of the stake. It was 19.50 for Thursday. It's 22 for Friday, so a tiny bit above a full day stake. It consists of an afternoon Yankee with 3 at Sandown, a couple of short ones in there, and the first of my 6 Newcastles. So I've got 6 Newcastle horses. I put the first one in with the Sandowns, so it's like the early Yankee. And then I've got the other 5 Newcastles in a Canadian. That's where I've got a little bit more from a price point of view. And then Friday's Dundalk offering, not great prices, is a split leg Yankee. That is what I've got. So I shall go to those in a minute. Got to go through Thursdays. We've got to mention the golf. I've got the tips, the stuff done, and I'll probably say it a couple of times a video. But thank you again to Stephen, who's sent me across a brilliant bunch of stats. Even sent me some really interesting stats about track performance since we've started. So how well people have done at picking horses at tracks. It caught my eye that Wetherby at the moment is the graveyard. So 25 attempts people have had through the whole of the tipster competition of picking a horse to win at Wetherby. No one's managed it yet, so we'll see next time Wetherby comes up on the channel. But yeah, 25 attempts, no wins. I think 5 places, so 20% on that. But yeah, really interesting stats. So thank you very much, Stephen. And feel free. I know I'm behind on emailing you back, Stephen, but feel free if you want to put anything else like that on the comments and stuff. I'm sure people will be really, really interested to see it. So feel free to reply to this, the tips to comment that I'll put on this video, so other people can see some of the stuff. But some really interesting stats and stuff. Stephen's got a lot more stats on the tips to competition than I've got myself. So yeah, it's really helpful. Anything else? I mean, honestly, it's like a little bit of noise in your ear, innit? Like most people on here are probably happily oblivious, but oh my life! Sometimes like there's like dramas in YouTube world. It's like I'm just doing my thing. I'm not really interested in what anyone else is on about or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? If someone asks me a question on my channel, I'll reply to it. Just to be really, really clear, sometimes comments disappear on the channel and it's not me. There's not a conspiracy theory. It's YouTube. I don't know what happens with it. I think sometimes people think they've commented when they haven't, but I don't know. The only time I ever take off comments on here is if people are abusive, and that hasn't happened directly on here for a few months certainly. Or if someone's trying to sort of sell something, or like it's one of these spam things like that. That's when I remove stuff. If people ask me pointy questions, that's fine. I don't remove them. I've got no need to remove them. I've said it many times. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to be the best. I'm just doing what I do. And if people want to follow along, they follow along. That's fine. I'm not trying to sell anything to anyone on this channel, right? It's not complicated, is it? Most people get it, right? I got a website. Why have I got a website? So I could use an email address. So it was easy for people to contact me. So what was I going to put on the website? Well, things I would get paid for. I won't get paid for tips. But if you want me to write you a full race card through the card for you're going racing, I'll happily get paid for that. I've said it before. If you're on a corporate event and you want somebody who knows their way around a horse racing track and race card, if you want to pay me to come with you, like for the day, I'll do that. Do you know what? Like, some people make something out of nothing, don't they? It's nuts. Like, people have got too much time on their hands, and there's clearly a couple of people in the world who's just, their life is just to cause mischief and get attention on YouTube, and that's absolutely fine. And unfortunately, people who mean really, really well get caught in the crossfire. And if those people just happen to maybe check their inbox before making videos, yeah, do that next time. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Let's get back to the normal stuff, the horses and all that stuff. So Thursday, got half back. We got a little bit, winner in every bet, but not much to go with it. So The day started well. We had Aquami, which got backed in, which ran at the back of the race, and I keep forgetting to get the right people name checking here. Somebody said it, and I can't remember, so I apologise. But somebody said a very, very pertinent comment, which was the horse sort of sliced through the field like butter. It absolutely did. I didn't think it was going to win, to be honest. I would not have bet it in running. And then fortunately that one didn't seem to look great and then was way out the back. If you missed that race, go and watch that race. Of all the races of anything that my horses were running in on Thursday, go back and watch the 12:37 at Clonmel and try and work out how the heck Joe's Way or No Way came fifth. Unfortunately, that only mattered for 365. So when 365 got their money back on Thursday, everybody else, because it went to 15 runners, the bookmakers turned it to 4 places. 365 kept it 5 places. But that horse was just not interested. Shane Fenlon just was cajoling it all the way around. It was tailed off at points. And then when everybody else was giving up, Shane Fenlon was giving it the beans. But unfortunately got beaten for 4th place in a bit of a photo finish. And it ended up being on the wrong side for most people. So that was that. Black Currant... That place, didn't it? I think it was 4th, which most people got paid out for. And then Shelby's Pride, no good. So there wasn't a single on it. There wasn't a single. It was the only horse I didn't put a single on. No, I did. Oh, my life. Right. Yeah, Aquami, yes, I did put a single. Yes, there was a single back for that. And then it was a place double for most people. So pence back. And if you did it with 365, which to be fair was the recommended bookie, you'd have got a little bit more than you'd have got. Well, I think you'd have made you must have got a tiny profit on that. But I think so. That was bet 1. Bet 2 weird. So a bit. I mean, it drifted 25 to 1, and I know I say on here all the time, like, I don't worry about a drifter, but I was like, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? A bit extreme. And it was the best turned out horse, so apparently it was looking all right, or it certainly looked pretty, I don't know, but no, never interested. 215, I got it in some regards right, so that got backed into favouritism 15 to 8. I said 7 to 4, so not bad, was it? And it did win, so that was grand. And the horse that was even money favourite drifted like a barge to 3 to 1 and got pulled up. So if you were laying that horse as suggested, then you'd done all right. Unfortunately, Lion Dancer did also pull up, so the win counted for nothing because that horse went wrong before the second fence. So we didn't really get a chance to try and convert it on that. So there was no return, despite one winner getting the winner right and getting the horse to lay right, but nothing back on the main market there. And then this started off nicely, but we didn't get anything towards the end. So we had a place and a win, and then no good, non-runner, no good. So we didn't have a single. We didn't have a single on Riot, and we only had a win single on Sun Festival. So it was we got a little bit back for the Canadian because it was a place double with a non-runner, and it also was a winner. So that was turned out a couple of quid back. So I got it 19.50 on, 9.50 back, £10 exactly loss for the channel. So we're 13 down for the week after a couple of days, but we're still 54 to the good for December. So no need to panic at this point. And if you are panicking, just stop doing it because it's not worth it. This is about having a little tinkle and a bit of fun, right? So, we're not millionaires, are we? I'm not a millionaire. If you're a millionaire, you're not going to be following this channel. We're just tinkering along, and we wish at some point in the future we may well hit a Bahamas day. You never know. To be fair though, on Friday I think only one of them is technically a Bahamas bet. The other two wouldn't quite get you the Bahamas. So yeah, I think if they all one of those bets, all the horses come in, then no one's going to complain with a couple of grand. But £5 Bahamas bet territory. That's what we've always said. So yeah, £5 for a Bahamas bet, but I ain't promising it, am I? Do you know what I mean? But if you want to find out if mine do that, you can either just watch and follow along, or you can choose to put some of your own tokens on it, like I do. Okay, so that was the bet. Mention the golf because it's quite quick. David Roberto, which was a short price, had an absolute nightmare. So he looks done and dusted. And then Jaco Van Ziel, I think that's right. Is that back? Is that? I have to say, right, before doing the research for this week's tournament, I'd never heard of the golfer. So he's not like he's in my tracker or anything. He's not some young up and coming upstart golfer, right? He's an experienced South African golfer who's in form and. When I looked through it, he looked like a lot of value for the race for the tournament. He hit a lot of birdies on the first day. Unfortunately, the only time he didn't hit a birdie or par a hole, he hit a treble bogey, which cost him the 3 shots. So he's four under, 3 off the lead. But if it weren't for that treble bogey, he'd have been tied for the lead, which would have been a really nice place to be. So we shall wish Jaco luck for day 2. He starts very early morning Friday. And it's not lost on me that the other Jaco that we bet last week, Jaco Prinsloo, has had a great round, and he was 5 under. So, the last 2 weeks we've been on Jacos from South Africa. More familiar with Jaco Prinsloo, less familiar with Jaco Van Ziel. But let's see if my research pays off, because, he wouldn't have been in many notebooks, I'm sure. So that's the golf. Let's get on to Friday's bets, and then we do the tips there. All right, Friday's bets. I did have a little debate about this one. So 115 Sandown, Dream of Home, 18-12. It's a good price, really good price. Should be about 10s, I think. So nice price to start with. And then we've got a 5-runner, Josh the Boss. I think you could argue that any one of those horses, there's 5 in the race, where anyone could win. They all look like they're in form and improving. I just like the profile of Josh the Boss, and I like the fact they've kept the amateur jockey on, because he's always been riding the horse, so he's not able to claim his £7 on this. And I just think it's an interesting move by the Twister Davis team to keep him on there. So they kept faith with the jockey that's been riding him and riding him well. So I think there's a bit of value in there. I mean, it's one of them ones I would have it as a little bit of a win bet, but I thought 5 places, as long as it's not a runner. It's worth. I've got my value that I'm happy enough with for the bet. So that's in 3 o'clock Sandown, Midnight Mary, 15-2. Wouldn't really want it to go much shorter, to be honest. There's not much mileage in there, but and I did debate about should I just do a Sandown Trixie, but then I found 6 at Newcastle, so I put the earlier one in. So we're going for the Old Boy Restorer in 9-1. So a 20p each way Yankee, 50p each way single Dream of Home, 50p win single Restorer. No singles on the middle too. Sky are best because the wonderful things he does. There's one of those races. They're 4 places. I think it's the first one they're 4, and maybe it's the second one. It's then Sky, Paddy, and Betfair are 4. So if you haven't got Sky, Paddy best because you'll get Bog in the morning, and Betfair next best. So one of those 3 you're on for. You've got slightly advantageous place terms. So 590 is the bet. Bet 1. Okay, the main bet in terms of stake is the Newcastle Canadian. So we've got Restorer and the other one. We've then got the next 5. So 345 is a bit short. I wouldn't, again, a bit like the other 15-2 shot. I wouldn't really want it to go much lower, but I was happy enough with it at that. Qatar 15-2. 445 Newcastle Anif 25s, 515 Newcastle Mark's Choice 14s. I think it's the second smallest price in the bet, but there's a lot of mileage in that price. Should be about 7. 545 Newcastle Possible Ambition 16s, and then 645 Newcastle Leodis Dream 22s. 10p each way Canadian, 50p each way singles on the bottom 4, so that's Anif, Mark's Choice, Possible Ambition and Leodis Dream. 25p each way double, Anif and Leodis Dream. 970 is the bet. 365 are best. So important note for Newcastle. Please pay attention to this one. 365. Sorry, I felt like a teacher then. 365 Sky, Unibet, Betway, Betfred are 4 across the board. They are the main bookies 4 across the board. A lot of bookies, there's a couple of these races where they're 3. It is particularly advantageous to make sure you can try and get on one of those 5, because if we hit a couple of 4th places, it will make all the difference potentially if we're joining up on these. So 365 best because you get best price guaranteed. Then Sky, Unibet, Betway, Betfred. 970 is the bet. That is bet 2. And then my Dundalk special. I mean, it doesn't look special, so I don't know. Traditionally, I mean, it was a lucky 15, 4 horses. We've got a split leg Yankee, but we'll see. 5 o'clock Dundalk. Took it last time, which was no good, but we'll go again. Don't spoil a sale, 15-2. 6:30 Dundalk, Chow Adios at 10s. 7 o'clock Dundalk, Harriet Eagle 12s. And then the 7:30 Mulhalel, which we took last time, we'll try again. And Dynamite, which got absolutely mugged last time it was running. So we've got 2 times 10p each way Yankees. So the first 3 with Mullow, and then the first 3 with Dynamite, 2 separate Yankees, and then 450p win singles. So not going anything each way at Dundalk. So we are, for the singles, win only. I've left the first one because it's a bit on the shorter side from a price point of view, not from a value point of view. And then we've got 50p win singles on the bottom 4. 640 is the bet. Sky best because there's a couple of them paying 5 places. And then everybody else pretty much is 3, 4 and 4. So 365 Paddy Coral best price guaranteed bookies. That's bet 3. That's my £22. Tips the competition. Last thing, and then we'll finish up. So it was a big scoring week in terms of we had a couple of people on the 168 mark. So 49 entrants, 11 made profit, 34 lost everything. But well done, Al Plevy and James Patterson, both getting on get a tonic 28-1, £168 profit you have made. So excellent. Joint winners. Second week in a row we got joint winners, so well done to them. Zach Benstead, £41. Second week in a row, Zach's been in the top 4. He's only been playing 3 weeks, so well done, Zach. Unfortunately, Zach, you're not quite in the top 10. So the top 10 will be in the comments of this video. You are 11th, unfortunately. So, but you've had a good first stint there, son. First week, not so good. Second 2 weeks, made a profit. So well done. And then we had Robin A on 35.60, and then the board ran down. It'll all be in there. But a shout out to Derek. Derek's been trying to get in the top 10 for quite a few weeks. I think he keeps thinking he loses every week. But Derek, well done. You've made it into the top 10 this week. You are 6th overall. For the overall leaderboard, top 6, I think it was top 6, all lost their £10 last week. And we've got a couple of new entrants. So courtesy of the 168 pounders, Al Plevy and James Patterson both jump into the top 10 from basically oblivion. So they were both on minus figures prior to this weekend, and then £168 to the good has put them both ahead and in the top 10. So top 3 remain unchanged, all lost their money last week. So Secret Lemonade Drinkers, Sir Mark Evan and Des Gibbons. And then 4th, Al Plevy, 153, so he's only 90 pence behind Des Gibbons. And then James Patterson, 5th, 121. And then, and the only other one person I was going to mention, because I feel a little bit sorry for Ed. Ed was the 11th person who made profit this week, so he won't be in the top 10 because he was 11th. He was the only person to make profit who's not in the top 10. And he made a profit. He was in the last week's overall top 10, but it wasn't quite enough because of the people jumping up. So he's now just nudged himself down to 12. So he made a profit and was in the top 10 last week, but he's only 12th this week. So Ed, I wanted to give you a mention, dispatches. That is the tipster thing. So tipster competition will be back on Saturday. I've agreed with Stephen, we're going to do tipster competition through December, Saturdays only. So it will be Saturdays only, and no other days. And I think the last 2 Saturdays in December are probably going to be quieter ones, but there's going to be no extra stuff. Just from a time point of view, it's just going to be too much. Personally, I'm going to be doing a lot of family stuff over Christmas, so I don't want to kind of extend my time on that, and I'd rather focus my time on Epstein Limerick. So that is that. All right, I think that is me for Thursday night. I'm planning to be back Saturday morning for Saturday's racing. I think that's right. I think that's right. So yes, I should be back for the last day of the week on Saturday morning. I'll do my best to get it uploaded as early as I can, so people can enter the tips to competition. And I don't know yet until I get there whether there'll be a 11 at Lingfield race I might be interested in. I don't know, but if there's too much of a shorter window between uploading and first race, I won't include it. All right, that is me. Thank you. Have a lovely Friday. See you Saturday. Bye bye.